Hello, beautiful goddesses. I'm Ashley, and I'm going to share a little bit about the Light Quotient. So, we had a beautiful new moon ceremony on Monday, and we worked with the diamond light to help us release from our field any burdens, blocks, densities, and to refocus our attention on the light that is within, on the stillness and the peaceful place that is within our beings. And when we cultivate that stillness and that light within, life becomes just a much better place to live, and we spread that light to others. So hi, if you're joining, welcome. I'm going to talk about the Light Quotient after our new moon ceremony we had on Monday. So this video is inspired by Maxine Bodhisazan, who asked, she said, increasing our light quotient, aka, oh, sorry, that's what I said. She said, I found myself reflecting on our session last night, and I was wondering if you could expand on the idea that we should push ourselves to embody or internalize the most light possible. Do you mean light in contrast to 3D density? So I'm going to answer that question a little bit. And I want to say, first of all, hi, Hila. Yay, I'm so happy you're here from the US. That you don't, I didn't mean to say like you should push yourself, right? Like it's not about force. But it's about a gentle step-by-step process to embody your higher self, okay? So be gentle with yourself, but yes, the spiritual path is about embodying the most light possible, for sure. And that is going to help us to ascend or to co-create a heaven on earth reality, okay? So basically the light quotient, that word means how much light a person can absorb, carry, emit, or embody in a stable way. Okay? So that means not just like, have moments of bliss and ecstasy, but actually have sustained ability to hold, carry, absorb, and emit light frequencies. And what does light frequencies mean? It's not in contrast necessarily to the dark, because the dark, we need both. It's in contrast to density or distortion, okay? Or codependency. And this planet is basically it is meant to be heaven on earth. And we are, as human beings, meant to be the sovereign co-creators of the divine heaven on earth. And that knowledge and understanding has been hidden from us and has been distorted by certain powers that be, or certain matrices that basically put us into this shadow where we don't even see our own light. And that comes forth by really seeing that there's a lot of self-hate going on in the human society. There's a lot of self-loathing, right? Self-deprivation, because we don't even see the capacity of the light that we are. And there's a global awakening happening where we're going into a remembrance of this light that we are. And that's why for us light workers, like there are hundreds of thousands of us all across the planet right now that are basically have been signed up to come here and embody the light, right? And be at one with the dark as well. Like all of creation comes from the dark black womb. So to embody that, both of those things, in order to help the rest of humanity disconnect from the matrix that is stealing their life force energy, and remind them that they are sovereign divine creators of heaven on earth. Okay, so if you're here, let me know if that resonates with you. If you're following me, I see there's a few of you here, so just let me know if you're following. So when we learn how to embody the light, we learn how to self-regulate. And this is our ability. So it's not all about like happiness and joy and like being blissful all the time. No, that's not what it is. We also need to be able to experience deeply our pain and our wounding, because we all come with deep pain and wounding. But embodying the light means that we can be with our pain and with our wounding and self-regulate it, so that we're not taking that pain and that wounding and then spreading it out to others and kind of blaming others for what we are going through, but rather take full responsibility for whatever pain that we have called forth into our life, so that we can grow as a human being and actually live that heaven on earth. Because it's so funny, what happens is like we attract certain relationships that bring up our pain and our wounding. And if we just ignore it or we blame and we leave the relationship, guess what happens, right? Like you guys know, we just find that same relationship again and in a different person, and they bring up that same, wounding within us. And it's actually an opportunity. And if we're doing the work with ourselves to bring in the light, which I'll mention at the end of this video, like how do we increase our light quotient? But if we are doing that work, then we can actually see, oh, this is a messenger to show me my wounding and my pain. And because I know that I'm sovereign, I know that I'm powerful, I know that I can handle this, that I'm going to look at it and be with it. And oftentimes that can bring up feelings of absolute terror. We are afraid, but, being with that terror, being with that fear, and letting that pain come up and out, right? And thanking that person that's in front of us that's causing us pain for actually bringing up that wound so that we can heal it. Okay, so this is where we embody the light, but we're also, face to face with the darkness, or face to face with the shadow or the distortion or the wounding, and fully able to be with it, with ourself. And so this is really the embodiment of the higher self. Living as a being who is connected up to source and bringing that light from source into our cells, into the embodiment of the divine, the embodiment of our higher self. So human energy is pure. We are not guilty of original sin. Okay, this is like a big lie that's been spread throughout humanity. And even the word sin actually originally means to forget. Okay, so we sin because we actually forget that we are pure light and abundance, and that we were actually placed here to have every need met. We were placed here to not be in need of anything because there's an incredible abundance happening around us. And we were also placed here to feel that we have a divine purpose and to be living and acting out that divine purpose in our full joy and bliss. That's what we're really here for. And we forgot that. So the light quotient is about remembering that and then working through slowly, one loving step at a time of slowly peeling off the layers of our wounding, peeling off the layers of our defense mechanism against, our terrors or our fears, and being able to be with them and say, you know what, there's a part of me that is light, that is free, that is holy, and there's a part of me that's fucking terrorized. And both of them can exist at the same time because my light is deeply anchored, and I can hold that terror and slowly, unite it back into the light where it gets healed and transmuted. So why do we want to, I think I already kind of answered that, but we want to be co-creators of heaven on earth. We want to live in abundance with all our needs being met. And this is like the diamond light. This is the symbolism of the diamond light is this. And it's being able to gather that energy from source and hold it in our diamond, and then and amplify it and scatter it in rainbows. Okay, and I don't know if you've ever seen, well, like a prism does that, like a regular like glass prism will scatter the rainbows, but a diamond does it in a perfect way, like an incredibly beautiful, perfect way. So it's about, having this stability to get that light in, hold it in, and then scatter it, right? Like share it with the world freely without, needing to go into debt, right? Like sharing that fully because we're tapped into that infinite source. And so there was, Maxine's question was a bit around the 5D and the 3D. Well, the negative forces at play, or like the matrix, also has access to the 5D, right? Like the Luciferian consciousness or the reptilian or whatever, these negative forces also have access to the 5D. So it's not even about the 5D. It's about going all the way up to source, straight to source, and anchoring that down here. And, maybe that helps us to ascend to the 5D, whatever that means for you. Meaning, for me, it means that every single human being on this planet and beyond is living in their purpose, is living in the light of their divine truth, their divine reality, and they're living amongst support, amongst family, and they feel creative, and they feel like they're living their purpose. Okay, that's what it is for me. And you can think about it for yourself, like, what is the 5D for you? What does that mean? And so, okay, final, and I'd love to hear if this resonates, if you have any questions about this, if this is like, a new concept for you, or if you really know this already, or if there's something you don't agree with. I'd love to, converse, and even if you're on the replay, I'll always read the comments. So how do we increase our light quotient practically? And it's, it always comes back down to daily practice. And once you dial in the daily practice, it's like an hourly practice, right? Or like an every 5 minutes practice until it becomes just the new neurological norm. Because we basically have neurological pathways throughout our bodies that we want to create highways that go into the self-regulation. We want to have highways that go into remembering our sovereign nature, remembering our bliss. And every time we kind of complain or we blame or we, take that hurt and spit it on someone else, we remember, oh, I don't need to do that because I have direct access to source. I am divine and sovereign, and I get to decide what I do. And, it's all going to finish one day anyway. So you might as well just live your truth right now and be in the flow. Okay, so practically speaking, meditating with the gold light, platinum light, diamond or white light, or rainbow light. Whatever one resonates with you the most, or whatever one resonates with you in that moment. Also being a rainbow hunter, or being like a gold hunter, like whenever you see a rainbow, whenever you see a sparkle of gold, just remembering that, like, oh, there's a reminder from the angels, there's a reminder from the divine. Breath work is a really, really powerful one to really up-level the ability for each of the mitochondria, each of in our cells, the trillion cells, to be able to hold more energy and produce more energy. And that breath work will also help you connect all the systems of the body. So it helps to rewire the nervous system so that your nervous system gets stronger and able to handle more adversity, right? So like something bad happens in front of you that's like insulting you, but your nervous system doesn't go crazy from from having that thing happen. And I struggle with this almost every day, and I'm working on it. Like, that someone says something not nice to me, or something happens to someone else, or, that I'm not, it's like, okay, I'm sovereign, I'm divine, I'm okay. Like, how do I deal with this from a place of light, right? Of holding, of self-regulation. Okay, that's breath work, and then connecting all systems of the body. So movement with breath, right? This is why I love yoga so much. It's a movement with the breath, right? So it helps to integrate mind, body, breath all together in this present moment, creating unity, creating a one-pointed focus. And when we're able to do that, we're no longer distracted, we're no longer scattered, and we're able to get, that focus turn in to really see and commune with the self. And the more we do that, the more we start to understand how freaking amazing the self is. That's how amazing you are, is that you, can access this place within you that can hold anything, and that can, choose how to differentiate from things, and that can self-regulate, and that can say, like, no, that's not for me, or yes, that is for me, right? And it's really about, like I said before, rewiring the nervous system with positive thought, with good foods, deep rest, good sex, self-pleasure, self-love, like deep acts and like almost worshiping of the self, right? Like, I say worshiping, it's kind of extreme, but it's because we're so far away from really deeply being in love with the self every single day that, like, stepping into that worshiping might kick us back. Okay. What happened? Hila says, what happens when you have so much energy than others around you, like so much more energy? What do you do with so much? What do you do with so much energy? Like, when you're feeling overwhelmed with energy, how do you release it? So it's kind of, I guess maybe you're pointing to the nature of, like, if someone else around you, like, doesn't have energy and you have a lot, like, our natural instinct maybe is to go and, like, give it to that person. But we can't really change that person by, like, trying or, like, forcing it on them, right? Basically, we need to just be the example next to them. And by just, radiating that energy, emitting that energy within our own field, without the need for validation or a response from that other person, right? Then it becomes like through osmosis that they'll pick up on that, high frequency, and they'll get curious. So when you're feeling lots of energy, how do you like to channel that? Do you like to dance? Do you like to sing? Do you like to like work with your chakras? Do you want to, do breath work to move it through? Like having sex, self-pleasure, different things with the self, because basically we can only affect another by our own example, or if they're coming to us and asking for it. And usually they would only come to us and ask for it if we're leading by our own example. So I hope that helps. Does that help? And to just, keep grounding in the light, keep bringing it in, seeing yourself as a channel, and, like, maybe you give it to a pet. Maybe you give it to, the earth. Maybe you just offer that person a massage. I don't know. Some ideas for you. Hi, Lisette. So we're pretty much at the end of this live for today. I'm so thankful for your question, Maxine, and I'm so thankful for all of you for being here, and for you, Hila and Lisette, and everyone else who's tuned in. Awesome, Hila. Glad to hear that it helped. And just keep bringing it in. Like, it's go time, you guys. We need to open up our wings. We need all wings on deck. Let's just keep bringing it in. And if you're interested, I'm practicing, energetic activations with breath work and things. So if you want to, maybe I can, if there's enough people that want it, then maybe I can do a live here, do like a workshop. All right. Oh, Orly, nice to see you. Lizette, nice to see you. Okay, bye guys. Big love.